I think I have just been talking to myself for the last wee while. I don't think it has been recording. I'm not sure why. Right, this is my second piece that I want to dye. This is a raw Ada. It's a 16 count. So you might not have seen that first piece of fabric that I dyed, which is unfortunate because I actually put half a dozen colours on it. I'll have to have a look after. So the key to this is wear gloves. Says the person that never does. I have already dyed, so I'm going to put a wee bit of boiling water in and to make sure there's no residue in my jug. Right. Sunshine orange or tangerine? I think I'll go for orange first. This is for the kersey. I know I have dyed already fabric and I'm really happy with it, but it's an opalescent and I'm not sure I want it opalescent, so I have added about 6 ounces of water. Don't even know if I've used this one. Oh yep, I have. So I don't really do any measurements. I just it's trial and error. Oh well, I like that colour. So to test to see if you like a colour, because before I got a colour that I wasn't expecting, it is best to have a plain piece of paper towel, and it's really good to use that to see what your colours look like. I've got too much dye. What am I going to do with it? Aha! Right. I wonder what tangerine's like. I'm only going to add a wee tiny bit of water this time. You'll see it here, vehicles, because it is just 7 o'clock. Probably. I started at 6:45. I think that very much looks like the other colour. As I said before, I'm not sure if this recorded, so I might be doubly saying it again. I use coloured fabric. Like here, it costs the same amount for coloured Ada as it does for white. So on my last piece I actually had a light blue. This chocolate is really thick. Let me use my... Right. So I tend to do my lighter colours first, and then I do my darker colours. I actually think this time I want it a wee bit darker in places, so I might add some teal, I think. I really like when it blends, the several colours blend together. I need something darker, maybe indigo. I look at the picture that I'm wanting to dye for and kind of look at the colours that they use. That's not the colour I wanted. Oh, it might be dark enough though. No, it's not. I do a lot of that. I go, is that the colour I want? No, it's not. And I try again. I need more brown. I hate this brown. It is so thick. Navy blue maybe with it? Maybe. I want the oranges, but I want some darks with it. That might be better. Right. See, I've got dye all over my hands. What's that? Chocolate. I like to submerge my fabric into the dye so there's not too many light patches. I do like mottling, but I don't like really light pieces. Like this is too light yet. But I don't like to mix it too much either, because then because I wanted patches of orange in this, I don't want to lose too much of that orange. Honestly, I'm not an expert at this by any means. I look at Stitch Me fabrics and I always go, oh, I love their fabrics, I wish I could get mine like that. Right, I'm pretty happy with that, I think. I don't think there'll be too many undyed bits. I don't like to move my fabric normally. I have a lot of dyes, as you can see. Right. Here was my first piece. This is the Greta Gold broom piece. Just going to, there's a few bits that are still a bit light. I wanted this to be darker than my last piece that I dyed. because it's already been sitting for a few minutes, 8 minutes to be exact. It's I am going to have lighter patches in it because that's what gives you your mottling. I'm sure you're all yelling at me, but you shouldn't do it like that. Right. Just as well, I did bring my gloves. I wasn't actually going to. So what I will do now is I will leave that for, I don't know, about 20 minutes. Thank you for joining me with my morning coffee. You'll be wondering, why am I doing this so early? It is, actually you should see what the temperature is. It's not that warm yet. It is 11 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? To Fahrenheit, that's 51. You see, I think that's quite cold, but it will be a lot warmer later on. It is so early here. It's now 7:10 in the morning. As you can see, I've done my 2 fabrics. Excuse me. I will leave them for about 20 minutes and then I will rinse them out, and I rinse them out a lot. I make sure it's no colour at all, and then I will dry them a little. I won't fully dry them, I never do. I'll probably leave them outside for half an hour maybe, and then I iron them. I use a hot iron, and that seems to set the colours, because RIT dyes really like the heat, so that's what I intend to do. I'm not sure what else to say. I think that's about it. It's unfortunate you didn't see the first bit of dyeing. It may be on my phone, I'm not sure. I will have to have a look. But it is frustrating. So I hope this helps, but honestly I'm not the expert. I just do trial and error. The only reason I don't buy fabric, hand dyed fabric, is the cost of postage. It's getting worse than better. I thought with, you know, the pandemic seems to be nearly over. Well, it's over here in New Zealand. We're not even having to wear masks anymore, apart from when you go to the hospital. So yeah, well, have a wonderful day. I will show you the fabrics later once I've ironed them, and I have to show you the fabric that I dyed for my Ari that I've decided I'm not going to use because I'm not happy with it. It's not dark enough. I always find it quite hard when I am dyeing fabric. I'm quite cautious with it. I probably don't leave it in the dye as long as I should, because I'm always worried that I'll ruin it. Well, have a wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. This is my second try at dyeing. Let's hope that the camera works properly this time. Not sure what happened before, but it sounded really weird. So I'm going to dye another piece of fabric, probably the same sort of colours. Which way? That way. It is now 8 o'clock, I think. I did start the other one at 6:45. I thought I might have been able to edit it. Right. Excuse me, having a second coffee. Right. Always wear gloves. Says the person that never wears them. I wanted to do this video early this morning because I need to do lawns today. I hate wearing gloves. So I do the low immersion method. I mix up my dye and then I pour it in, and to be honest, I don't think I really do anything amazing. I do feel that it's hit and miss with dyeing. I'm either really happy or not as happy. Right. So I'm going to dye the Greta Gold Broom fabric in a smaller bowl, how I normally dye it, and we will see how it turns out. We'll see which one I like more. Oh, that didn't help, you didn't see anything. Okay, I'll bring you down. And here's my fabric. Can I get it down a bit more? Yeah. So I have put my dye in. And I pretty much just pour it where I want it, or where I think I want it. I try to do 3 colours that will blend together. I try to do a light and then a medium and then a darker colour. So I can see already this has gone all across the bottom of my dish. So it means that I'm going to get colours in quite a lot of places. Right, my next colour. I don't even wash in between. I always shake my dye. It is really good to have a paper towel, and what you can do is put a paper towel in your dye to see what colour you're getting, because sometimes when you're just pouring in, you go, oh, there's not the colour I wanted. I had another bowl before because I've got too much dye. Right. Now I want it darker at the top because I want quite a dark piece. I'm going to do navy blue, so mine are all lit dyes. Also depends on how long you leave it, like all the other dyes that I did before, they've probably been in the dye half an hour, and I feel that that's definitely long enough. What colour am I going to do with it? I might do teal. No, I might just do a teal on top. As you can see, I have no science to this at all. Only do a tiny bit. Oops. Right. Teal. I kind of want, what I'm aiming for in this is that I kind of want it like a sunrise, so I want it lighter at the bottom of the fabric. That's why I've got the pink and the purple, and then I want it quite a bit darker further up in the sky area. Whether that's what I'll get, I don't know. Like I say, all my colours merge together, and sometimes I go, oh, that's really cool, and then sometimes I go, that's not quite what I wanted. I feel that my way of dyeing is quite a lazy way of dyeing, because I just pour all my colours in together. That way. Right, this is what I dyed earlier. Don't know if you can see it. I will be interested to see what it turns out like. See, there should be some good mottling in there. I definitely think I'm about ready to take this out. And my other piece I did is for the kersey. And that's what that piece looks like. So what I did was I poured the orange in the middle, and then I added some chocolate browns and colours. I think I added teal to the chocolate. You see, I've got quite good mottling on this as well. Even though it is still in a lot of dye, it's turned out quite well. The thing with the low immersion is I just dropped my phone out of the tripod, so I will have to oops, I got gloves I'm just trying to grab. I will have to delete that because I think I swore. I'm actually pretty positive I swore. So what I do once I have dyed my fabric, I leave it for as long as I want. I try not to poke it too much because that's what I'm doing now, and that kind of ruins the whole effect of when you're doing this way. Like I say, I think it's a really lazy way. I do all my colours together and they just merge, so it's no harsh colour changes, I don't feel. I've been really happy with my dyeing, but it doesn't mean to say it'll work for everyone. I think everybody has their own way. Like Mama loves GB. I've actually watched some of her dyeing, and I feel that her method is a lot more accurate. She measures her dyes, and I'm just a bit more hit and miss. Excuse me. So I will rinse the dyes out, the fabric out, and then what I'll do is I put it aside for, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't think I'll leave it that long. And then I iron them with a hot iron. I have it on for linen. It's as hot as my iron can get. And the advantage of that is that it seems to set the colours on it, and I don't have any issues. I can even use a friction pen and it doesn't remove any of the colours or leave white lines after I've dyed it, whereas some hand dyed fabrics that I've actually bought, I can't do that. Excuse me. So I think dyeing is something that you just keep practicing, and sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. And I tend to not leave my fabric in the dye too long, because I'm always cautious. I think I'm always a bit paranoid that I'll ruin the fabric, it'll go too dark and I won't be able to stitch on it at all, whether if it's a little bit lighter I will be able to use it. So I dyed a piece of fabric for my Ari. I was really happy with the colour, but I don't think it's dark enough, and I've got a piece of Picture This Plus Phantom. When I show you what these pieces look like, I will show you the Phantom and the piece that I dyed, and to see, so you can see what I mean. I think I am too cautious. I've probably left these in the dye longer than I normally would. I think I'm impatient too. It's like, oh, can't be bothered dyeing, I'm done. And that's it for the day. So I'm going to go rinse these out now, and we'll see what I get. Thank you, bye. This is the Temptress of the Kersey fabric that I've just dyed. So this is what it looks like while it's wet. It will lighten up, but I'm really happy that I actually have got the patches of orange like I wanted in the upper half. The fabric is too big, so I know that I won't need all of this, so I can actually pick where I put my picture, my cross stitch, for the areas that I want the colour. I love that it's quite a lot brighter here than there, so I think it's blended really well. I'll just go wash the other piece now. These are my fabrics. So this one here is, should be that way, is the one in the little bowl. This one is the one in the bigger bowl. I don't think I've done it light enough at the bottom, is far enough, because I've got a 3-inch border, but it's not going to bother me if you can't see all the light pink. And this here is my Kersey, so I just need to wait until they dry a bit more, and then I can iron them. I'm back. My fabric has dried and I have also ironed it. This is my bag that I used last year for my Under the Sea Dark Queen of the Sea. And I made the bag to go with it. Here is the piece that I already had dyed. It's an opalescent. I don't know if you can see it or not. And I decided that I was going to dye another piece because I, personally myself, I feel like the opalescent takes away from the pattern with the beads and things. So here's the piece that I dyed this morning, and it's all ironed and it's been folded up. I'll iron it again before I stitch on it. So I obviously did it slightly different, but I'm happy with this piece. I think, I think this will look really good on it. It's not as orange as that piece, as the called for fabric, but I still think I'll be happy enough. And so I'll put that back in the bag. I have all the called for threads, so I need to actually check on it because I've got 356, that's one of the colours in it. Well, one of the colours that I've got, but it's not in it. You know, I don't know where it belongs, so I need to sort that out. I need to actually put them on thread drops. I have got some thread drops that I bought from Etsy. They're very light. They're just a plastic one. Oh, look, maybe you can see it there. I'm terrible at showing stuff. There we go. So you put the DMC label up here. By the way, when you're dyeing fabric and you rinse it out, you need to wear gloves then too, because I didn't. I never even thought about it. I was so good wearing the gloves the rest of the time. Okay, here is the Greta Gold Broom fabric that I already had, that I dyed. And I love the colour of it, but I didn't think it was dark enough for that piece. And once again, it's an opalescent. So this morning I dyed this piece. There we go. And I feel that this isn't quite dark enough. I should have gone a bit darker. I love the colours at the bottom, so I'm definitely going to use this on something. Not sure what, but it won't be wasted. And this is what I did in the bigger bowl. It's a slightly bigger piece. I don't know why. It's obviously what I had. And I actually think this should look really good. I kind of feel that it looks like a night sky. It's a bit stormy looking, and that's pretty much what I wanted. So I got the threads today, so I need to just put the colours on the fabric and make sure that I'm happy with it. And if I decide that it's too close to some of the called for colours, I might have to change some, or I might use that the opalescent fabric. But hopefully I don't have to use the opalescent fabric, because I don't think beads stick out as much. So Mayari, I did this fabric for you. I have made it large enough that it, which way round? I'm not sure it really matters. I've made it large enough so I'll get all 3 pieces on it, but I don't feel it's dark enough, because you can see the called for fabric is very dark. So I have a piece of Picture This Plus. It is called, I think I'll have it that way. It is called, and I should fit all 3 pieces on this too. And that's blowing it out. It's darker than that. I don't even think a white piece of paper will help. So that's Phantom by Picture This Plus. The only thing is with Phantom, you can't use or with Picture This Plus, you can't use a friction pen on it because it will leave lines. So I have, oops, what size do I have? I have a 27 by 36 and it's a 16 count. So the whole piece should fit on this. All 3 of the sisters, the deity of the deities. I have Hanan and Tala coming. I also have the threads for those. They arrived today, so I need to put them on thread drops. So that's what I'm going to do this afternoon. So the learning curve is you need to wear gloves when you're rinsing out your fabric. So remember that. I actually think I got more dye on myself when my phone dropped out. I had a few drops when it hit a glove and I got splatter. And then rinsing out, I had more dye on my fingers then. So for once, I'm not really running out of bags, but I had heaps of these bags and I decided I'm actually going to use some. I have still got project bags I could use, but until I get all 3 patterns, because I've only got this one, and I won't start with her, I'll start with the one that's facing you. I think it's Hanan. I'll start with that one, and the beads and things are coming. So thread drops. I'm starting to run out of thread drops, so I have used a lot. And I decided that I need to either buy more or make them myself. Jessica bought a 3D printer and she said that's working really well for her. So I actually bought a 3D printer myself this week because she was going to do thread drops for me as well, but as it takes about 2.5 hours to do 22, I felt that was unfair using all her power. So I bought my own 3D printer and hopefully Brendan can help me and we'll sort it out and make our own thread drops. So that'll be interesting to see how they turn out. So in the next few weeks you might see some of my thread drops I make and we'll see how successful we are. So thank you very much for watching this. I hope that was helpful seeing the dyeing. Honestly, mine isn't the only way. I also do dyeing in a jar, and sometimes what I do is I squish my fabric in the jar and then I'll do the bottom third one colour and then the middle third another colour and then the top a darker colour. So it really depends on what you're after. So that, like I say, I only do low immersion, so that's, I want to try. Jessica showed me a video of that you can put your fabric on plastic, excuse me, and you use a paintbrush and you paint your dye on it for certain areas, and then you put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then you rinse it out. So I'm seriously thinking I want to try that next and we'll see how that goes. That might be my new favourite, who knows. Well, thank you very much. Have a great day. I'll post this up on Tuesday and then the following week I'll have my update. I'm not sure if I'll do a stitch with me this week. We'll see how it goes, especially as I'm still stitching on that rainbow sampler and I'm still having to use a magnifier. But the good news is I'm at 49%. I only need to do the next colour and I'll be over 50%. So, yoo-hoo! Thank you very much. Bye.